Heyo, how's it going, people? I didn't get a regular video up last week, like a vlog video up. A vlog, I guess is all you call it. I didn't get one up. I can't remember why now. I think I was late. I don't remember what was going on, but anyway, I didn't get it done, so I put something else up instead. But I put it on YouTube. I live streamed cutting my son's hair. That was fun. His haircut turned out okay. You know, I think it's cute. It looks good on him. Anyway, so sorry about not getting it done. There's my gum here, so I'm not chomping the whole time. So I wanted to get an update on my son's schooling situation. A while last year, actually, almost exactly a year ago, I put a video up of me basically ranting and talking about how frustrated I was with my son's school district and the school situation and all of that. And well, this year I called the special education, the district specialist, and I called the local elementary school, left a message and said I'd like my son to go to the school. We live right here. He wants to go to school here. And I don't like the way things were handled last year. I don't like what was done. But I'd like him to go here. And one of the secretaries called back and said, oh no, sorry, you have to go to the other elementary school. Oh, excuse me, and go through the long process of maybe getting approved for a transfer back to this school. I was like, what? Heck no. He can go to the school if he wants to. Like, legally, they have to provide it because this elementary school is in our area. It's our local elementary school, and they cannot, legally, they cannot turn a child away from that unless there is like a real serious reason, and there's not. So anyway, I made it very clear what I wanted, and they said that, and I was like, what? Anyway, so I'd been in contact with the special ed specialist person over the district, and she was like, okay. Like, she couldn't believe it, kind of a thing. And didn't think that was right. So, I'm adjusting my mirrors. I'm driving and talking. Just my mirrors. There we go. My husband comes in here and he switches everything around. He's got shorter legs than me, and so he gets in the car and he makes it for short leg people. And he raises the steering wheel up all the way because his legs are thicker than mine. And so I get in, I'm like squished in here, and then the steering wheel's like way up here. So I have to adjust it all. And then of course he changes all my mirrors so he can see out of them. I forgot to check them before I left. Right now I am not on my way to group therapy. I just left it because I didn't have time to video before. Anyway, so what I was saying, I know I'm so random. Anyway, so then I get a call back from the elementary school because a special ed specialist had gotten in contact with the principal and said, you can't do that. We need to have a meeting. So we scheduled a meeting. Thank goodness everybody came this time. Last time the principal didn't come. And I wasn't very impressed with him. You know, I mean, it was his first year, I guess, last year. And so this year is his second year. I didn't know he was brand new. We had just moved to the area as well. I didn't know anything. We were late getting started in the school year, and everything was so different. So we were kind of in shock, in a shock mode. And that's also another reason why we agreed to signing his IEP being changed and stuff. We were just in shock mode the whole time. We didn't even know what our rights were. We were they just kind of mowed over us. Took advantage of our ignorance, I guess. So anyway, this meeting was arranged, and we noticed that one lady that was there, she's the one that was like the instigator of all of it last year. But she was my husband said was visibly shaking and nervous the whole time. She was worried that there was going to be a fight. Like last year, it was the same thing. She was worried that there was going to be a fight. They were all like on pins and needles. They were so anxious and nervous that we were going to be combative and argumentative and cussing them out and stomping our feet and insisting on what we wanted. And Tyler and I aren't like that. We are way more easygoing than that and way more reasonable and rational than people give us credit for. If people cross a line, yeah, one of us might lose it, or both of us. But that line is a lot further away than what people realize, I think. I know some people have the line, it's like right there, and anything ticks them off and they blow up at everything. Then you have the people where it's like, they never get upset over everything. Do they even care? And we aren't right in the middle. I think we're a little more laid back than that. Because we don't like to step on toes, but we do care very deeply about, our children's education. He and I are both very concerned that my son is getting what he needs, and so I was concerned the whole time, because they were in this meeting. They were telling us that it would be best for him to go to this other elementary school that's far away, and it's like an hour bus ride there, an hour bus ride back, really long, doing nothing the whole time. Well, we found out that they wouldn't be nothing, that the kids would have iPads to use, which he loves, and it's educational stuff. And so that's something that we approved of. And they had told us last year there was a miscommunication where they said they were done away with, and it was something very temporary the bus driver wanted to try. It didn't work, so they brought him back. My husband and I were both very relieved that's what happened with that. And then aside of that, we found out that the classroom sizes are way smaller. They're like 4, maybe 5 kids in each class. I was like, dang, that would be really good for him, because my son, he needs more of the individual attention and guidance and help, and that brought us a lot of comfort, because when we went to visit the school, it was 1 teacher and 1 aide, and there was a whole bunch of little kids in there. The room was dark. There was nothing on the walls. School had only been going on for a couple of weeks. And I'm like, usually the rooms are done up a little bit, and usually things are a little more put together than this. The teacher was sweating. She looked seriously stressed out. I was like, I don't think she can handle this. Really? We were so concerned. And then the padded room, they didn't explain it very well, and the door locked, and it's not supposed to lock. It's against the laws, okay? So we were freaked out. They explained that is only used in very severe instances where a child is like extremely out of control and hurting other people, and they need to calm down. And they're only in there for minutes amount of age. Like Liam is 7, so he'd be in there for 7 minutes, unless he calms down sooner than that. As soon as they're calmed down, they let him out. And they were also concerned that Liam was violent. Last year, we had just moved. He was reacting way more aggressively than normal for him. He was still trying to deal with having a new little sister. He wasn't the baby anymore. They're how old are they? 5 years apart. So there's quite a gap. So he was used to being the baby for so long. And so here comes this new little baby that was very small and also born early, and he's like, gosh, she's stealing the show. And that was hard. And then we found out we had to move, and then it was hard to try to find a place, and then we got the place, and my husband lost his job, and then we were, new school district, and things were just crazy. And so poor Liam was just, everything was just ripped out from underneath him. At least he still had both mom and dad, because I think that if something had happened in our marriage, that would have I think it would have been a horrible implosion for Liam and the other kids, the girls. But anyway, at least we were both there for him. We tried to keep some consistency in his routine, although that was very difficult, but we tried. But regardless, he kept running away from his teacher. They'd find him outside. He wasn't being watched. The teacher wasn't equipped to handle the kids. She couldn't even walk. I don't know why she was at work when both her feet were in casts. She'd had surgery. I was just like, oh my gosh. And she thought my son was a little monster that was purposely trying to hurt her and the other students, and said he was a danger. And I'm like, honey, you didn't even give him a full 2 weeks. Like, he needs at least 3 weeks to get used to a situation. Just calm the frick down and give him some time. And instead of talking to us, she didn't communicate with us once about how he was doing. And I was concerned because all his other teachers had like this open communication, like every day almost. They would send notes home, or they would call or something, and she'd nothing. I'd even sent notes to school for her saying, please call me if there are any issues, or send a message back to me. Nothing. And I'm like, okay, maybe things are fine. And so when we got a call from the school saying, come pick him up right now, I was total shock. I was like, what has been going on? And then we started hearing from some friends in the neighborhood that they'd seen him wandering around and not being watched. I was like, what is going on over there? This teacher had a lot of polls. She convinced everybody that he needed to be gone and to evaluate him without getting our permission. You're not supposed to do that. That's against the law. That was very upsetting. So our rights were violated there. Anyway, so this meeting, I was like, I want his IEP reevaluated. I want him reevaluated. I want the whole thing redone, and I want it done right. And they agreed. They're like, okay, we'll make sure that happens. And they also agreed that they would do everything they could to try to fast track him back to the local elementary school, which they don't always do that. But for our case, they said they would do that. And I was like, whew, that's a relief. Oh my gosh, I think that's my sister-in-law's old boyfriend with his pit bull. Holy cow. He is always bumming around down here. He's homeless bum. He doesn't work. He begs, and he's in his 20s, and he had a 16-year-old girlfriend. I'm sorry, that's disgusting, pedophile. Anywho, I can't believe I'm seeing him right now. Oh boy. Anyway, so we agreed for him to go to the other school because it sounded like a better place for him. And what also was, I was like, this sounds so bad. I'm not normally like this, but I was kind of excited because the old special ed teacher that had been there forever wasn't there anymore at the local elementary school. I was like, wow, okay, either she quit or she got sacked. What she did was wrong, and it was unethical and was messed up. So, I'm thinking that she either got sent somewhere else, or she'd had too much and she couldn't do it anymore, or she got fired. It was something changed, and I'm glad they have a new special ed teacher there. And the new teacher, she did seem concerned. She wanted to make sure that we were doing the right thing for Liam. But the psychologist is who I like the most. And I ended up liking the principal as well. He used to teach special ed, which is awesome. The psychologist was really nice, and he was very excited with the idea of working with Liam. He was getting all these ideas, he said, let's make sure he's going where he will succeed, and once he gets his self-esteem and self-confidence boosted up and he knows he can succeed at this, we'll bring him back. And as long as he's not screaming, because he has screaming fits, and as long as he's not running away from the school, he will be ready to come back and we can help him. And there's all these things that he said that they can do for him. So I'm very excited about that. I'm very grateful that I was able to get a hold of somebody and that she cared. She called during her vacation to talk to me. She called right after her vacation, after hours. This special ed specialist lady in the district, she went above and beyond, and I'm so impressed, and I'm shocked, quite frankly shocked, that there was somebody here that cared and that actually did something about it and kept their word and made sure things were changed in a positive direction. She didn't act like she was picking sides at all. She didn't stir up drama. She didn't stir the pot. She didn't try to get us upset or, the local elementary upset. she handled it so well, professional, and I really respect her for that. And so this school year is starting out so much better. Unfortunately, Liam is taking the bus, so he has a very long bus ride, and this week he comes home a couple hours early this whole week. So I'm a little concerned about him being gone even longer starting next week. I am very concerned about that. So hopefully this will be short-lived and he'll only have to be at this elementary school 2-3 months and he can come back. That's my hope. But it makes so much difference to stay in contact with the parents, especially when the parents are just begging for it. Just even if they're not, but oh my gosh, we were trying so hard to have communication here and we weren't getting anything, and then they just walked all over us and didn't follow proper procedures and didn't discuss any of it with us, and then they just kind of threw us to the side, and my poor little boy was getting yanked around, and oh my gosh, we felt like we had no option but to pull him out. Luckily he's very smart and he's been keeping up with a lot on his grade level. There's some stuff he needs help getting caught up in that I couldn't teach him. He wouldn't let me teach him, but there's some stuff that he was just, you know, doing so well in. He just shocks the pants off me sometimes. Anyway, so please, you know, don't give up if you're dealing with a difficult district. Don't just, or difficult private school, or whatever your situation is, or if you are really wanting to homeschool your kids and they're fighting you tooth and nail to do it, or if you really want your kids to go to a good school and they're fighting you tooth and nail, or they're trying to pull you this way or that way, don't give up on your child and on what's best for them. Do what you know that you feel is right for them, and do whatever it takes. I mean, if I hadn't been able to get a hold of the specialist, I would have certainly got a state, you know, an educational state type of attorney or something to fight for us, because my son is worth more than that, you know. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say and wanted to update on what's going on with him. And I hope that this helps somebody. Okay, talk to y'all later. Love you. Bye.